Jacob Spiritual, and today we're going to be doing a past life pick a card reading. There will be 3 piles for you to choose from. How do you choose your pile? So you're just going to intuitively select whichever pile you feel more drawn towards. If there's more than one pile you feel drawn towards, please feel free to watch that pile as well. What kind of questions will we be answering in this reading? We're going to answer who you were in a past life, what kind of life did you lead, and then also what were the lessons. Let's see if there's anything else. I think that's pretty much about it. So yeah, be sure to like, share, and comment below, and we're gonna go ahead and pick our piles. Okay, hi pile one. Okay, this is going to be your reading. All right, let's have a look at these cards here. I've already laid them out, shuffled and laid them out. And while I was laying them out, I was already starting to get some downloads, some messages about who you were. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that this is a lifetime from long, long ago. So, like the Greek days, the Roman days, it's gonna be something like that. So yeah, more than likely you were like in a highly developed society. You were, maybe you weren't part of that society just yet. You were part of the surrounding areas. Um, I'm hearing that either you had something to do with agriculture. So either you were like a farmer or you were a seller of some sort. You definitely had like explorative nature. It's giving most people who chose this pile, this was a lifetime in which you were male. So even as a young child, you were always like just exploring and being soulful and doing things that you love to do. You like to see how things tick. You were always um kind of like scientific, you just like to explore, you like to experiment, you like to see how the world around you worked, you like to work around with the world around you, which made you an excellent farmer or seller, or whichever you were. You were either a farmer or a seller. Okay. Yeah, you were very in flow with nature. You could have been clairaudient this lifetime. You would hear messages from spirit. It's like not just spirit, but you would hear messages in the wind. So you know how like the wind blows and you're like, you just know, it's like you can hear like a whistling in your ear. So you was like clairaudient in this lifetime, which would have also made you an excellent seller. Yeah, a lot of people for this pile you did end up being a seller of some sort, but at some point you got because there's opportunity upside down. So at some point your freedoms got taken away. I'm hearing in the form of, I know it's triggering, but like slavery or something like that. Yeah, it was definitely like slavery, because I'm seeing here forced conversion, deceived, betrayed. I'm seeing martial artist and gladiator. Yeah, for a lot of my people, this is definitely during the period of like the Greeks and the Romans. And what ended up happening, either you were, for some of you, take what resonates, either you were in a war with the Romans, Greeks, and you lost, and they like took your people over and decided what they wanted to do with you, or you I'm trying to see here. Or they called for you. Yeah. Why is this giving Spartacus? This is giving Spartacus, y'all. So they call for you, and you like, we don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. I'm a free spirit. You know, the universe, the gods didn't put me here to serve you. You don't come before me. It's like you had a very like. There was a sense, I wouldn't say arrogance, but you was maybe a little bit of arrogance, but you was definitely very confident. And you didn't win that situation because the Romans, they took over and they made you a slave, a gladiator. As a matter of fact, they made you a gladiator. I see that with both this dagger here, and I see that with this card here. So once you became like a gladiator, a warrior of some sort, it's like you were gifted on a battlefield, you know, like whatever they had, like, you know, there's two different stories, like I was saying. So either you were fighting against them. For some of you, you were fighting against them, and it was like, oh, he's good. He's really, really good. So when your people lost, it was like, save that one. We want to convert him and make him do our bidding. So that's the story for some people. And for other people, it was time to go to war. Your community got called as a favor to the Romans or whatever, and you was like, I'm not doing that. They caught you and was like, well, you're gonna do something because now you're a slave. Either way it goes, you ended up in servitude to the Romans. And I mean, even in that state, you were able to still hear messages on the wind, but you had this longing to explore. And I mean, yeah, it's not necessarily what you set out to do, to, of course, to be like this gladiator of sorts. However, once you was put in it, it was like when you were in the arena, it was like you were taken out of the shadows of this experience of being in servitude, and you were worshiped like a god. And that helps you to win many, 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 many battles. Many, many battles. It's like people would make bets on you. People were calling your name and worshiping you. And it's like through this experience, you know, you was able to experience a wealth of a different kind, you know. You were just very good at being a gladiator. Yeah. Let me see what else happened in this lifetime. Not only were you good at being a gladiator, but you were also helpful to, I know it's triggering, but whoever owned you. So you would help them, like, because you could hear those messages on the wind. You were clairvoyant, you were clairaudient. You would help them with their dealings in life, like other slaves that they might want to bid on, or deals that they might want to make, because they mirrored your energy of wanting to be on top, of wanting to gain, you know, some type of notoriety. Um, and so it's almost like, I wouldn't say y'all were friends, but y'all definitely had an understanding. that once you made so much money for them, you would get the opportunity to leave. Like they will fulfill your wishes of leaving. However, naturally, of course, that didn't happen this lifetime. I'm actually hearing that you fell in love with the guy who owned you. You fell in love with his wife. Um, yeah, you fell in love with his wife. Even for some of you, it's his wife. For some of you, it's his daughter. And it was like he was at a point where he couldn't conceive a child. And so when his wife got pregnant, for some of you, that's the storyline. When the wife got pregnant, it was like, this is a blessing, but what's really going on? Because we haven't been able to make a baby in a very long time. So what's going on? And for some of you, when it was the daughter, it was like, who knocked you up? Because, you know, I was arranging for you to be married and you're supposed to be a virgin and now you're knocked up. Who knocked you up? And so, yeah, he was angry. I am sensing the anger. And a lot of it was like, just feeling emasculated. Emasculated. I can't get that word out. But that word, he felt that way. So he did discover it was you. He felt deceived, betrayed. And what happens is he put you somewhere. He chained you up. They tortured you. They starved you, and they starved you and thirsted you to death. So that's what happened that lifetime, yo. Whoa, that's a lot. That's a lot. So what were you supposed to learn that lifetime? What was the lesson? I'm looking at these cards and getting information on what was the lesson. Okay, so what I'm hearing is the part of the lesson that lifetime was to stay the course. It's like even as a child, you had the sense, you know, you were explorative. You wanted to see how things ticked. You wanted to see how things worked. So it's like you would explore, you would experiment. Sometimes you would lose focus. So the lesson this lifetime was to not lose focus. Either way it go, as long as you don't lose focus, you're going to get the things that you need. Like you had great opportunity to get the things that you needed. Even once you became a gladiator, oddly enough, it's like you were able to change that story around, make that work for you. It's like you was like a hustler in a way, because you were going to get out. He was going to actually let you out. But you just had to see how things tick. You had to see how things worked. You had to taste things that maybe the forbidden fruit. So yeah, the lesson with this is to stay the course. So even if you're having like some blockages or some delays in this lifetime with just like staying focused, here's your reminder to stay focused. Like it could be financially, it could be spiritually, it could just be work wise, goals you want to reach. It's like, but you have like maybe a lot of different opportunities you can explore. Maybe narrow it down to like 2 or 3 things at a time and work towards making those things happen. It's almost like I'm seeing like octopus hands, like grabbing at all these different options, all these different things that you want, but there's this great need to focus and to have discernment so you can know you know what's really for you, and like really just to stay the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. Stay the course. I don't know what else to say other than staying the course, and not necessarily like being so distracted by the shiny things that you already know aren't for you. Like, you have great intuition. You know these things aren't for you. You just want to see how they tick. But in essence, they're delaying your progress. They're taking you off course. So stay the course. Stay the course. Okay, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this reading, please be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, turn on your notifications. I love you. I appreciate you, and have a beautiful day. Hey, Pal 2. Okay, so this is going to be your past life reading. You pick the truth card. And I've already gone ahead and laid out your cards here. And I'm already getting downloads. Like, and it's so clear here that this was a very spiritual lifetime. I'm also hearing it's like, it's something about your voice, the way you speak to people, the way you explain life, energy, spirituality. I'm hearing mathematics. You are a very intelligent person this lifetime, and it's like your mouth will get you in and out of so many situations, and I mean that in a very positive way. Like, you were a very enlightened soul, and this was during a period where people were more free to be enlightened. Wherever you are, people wanted to be enlightened. So it's definitely before the Salem witch trials. It's before that era. That era is what I'm hearing. You were very you could have identified as a witch, as a mystic, as a metaphysician, as an herbal woman. This lifetime is giving a feminine energy. So yeah, for this lifetime, I want to say you were a woman. You definitely wore a cloak a lot, and you dealt with herbs. You had herbal remedies for everything. Like, you could help cure people. I'm hearing very much so you were a leader, and you would talk to people and teach people. It was almost like, I'm hearing like crusades is what I'm hearing. So it was like pilgrimage. It's like you went around, you travel, you were nomadic, you went around, you travel to heal people, to help people, to teach people, to learn. You were both a teacher and a student of life and of the soul's journey. You were very confident. You were a master in your abilities, your spiritual gifts. It's giving. Yeah, just a very enlightened soul. It's like you were the kind of person that could just like heal people and just know things that maybe others probably wouldn't have known per se. Besides being an herbalist, I'm hearing you could have performed exorcisms. You were definitely very gifted at transmuting negative energies into light source, and like giving that to source for transmutation into unconditional love. Like, that was your thing. Very loving. You also may have, besides the exorcism, another thing that you did, you also worked as a death doula. So you helped people to die with grace. You helped to make it less painful. Like I'm hearing morphine. You may have used morphine. You also help women during childbirth. You was just like the all around get out healer. Okay. You were also, yeah, you had like a mother identity, like this warmth to you, this light to you that people just knew they were going to be okay. Let's see what else. I'm also hearing you were extremely, extremely beautiful. You were fetching, is the word I'm hearing. It's like people wanted to be with you. And usually you said no. Usually you said no, because you was just so busy. You were so focused in this lifetime of like completing this mission. It's like you had a higher calling and you didn't want to uh, fall into that. Okay, let me see what else happened in this lifetime. Because I'm just seeing you do a lot for people, heal a lot of people. Like I said, you was a dad doula, but you also help women during pregnancy. One of the biggest things you did, two of the biggest things you did was exorcisms and dad doula. So, you know, just transmuting that negative energy, giving it to source. That was a big thing. Using mostly herbs and like spells and stuff like that. You tip the scales. You help to tip the scales in people's favor, give them more, like, you knew how to preserve life, for lack of better words. You knew how to help people beat the odds, because you know this was a time period where people was just dropping like flies. They was dying, y'all. They were dying, and it's like you had the knowledge and the gift to preserve their life, to help pull them from beyond the grave. And I see that with the Grim Reaper here, you know. Right. Let's see what else happened. What happened in this life, spirit? What else happened? Because I'm just seeing you do a lot of good work. Yeah, you took your work very seriously. Very, very seriously. I am hearing that somebody wanted to be with you, and you didn't necessarily wanted to be with that person. It's like, even with like Medusa, you know, that energy of, she was so gorgeous, she was so beautiful. She was so saintly, right? She was in, I mean, she was doing the right thing. Like, she was in the temple serving, I think, Athena, right? And Zeus came and raped her and stuff, and then she got like disfigured. She got, you know, shamed and guilted. It's like something like that happened to you. It's like you're doing your work, and at some point it's like you caught the eye of someone, and you didn't like want his advances, but he wanted you. And so he took you. I know that's triggering. That's super triggering. For some people it's going to be, you know, he forced himself on you. um but for a lot of people, I'm hearing that he kept you for a while. Like, and I'm seeing that with the abandoned carnival card. It's like he kept you for a while in a hidden place. Like, it didn't have too much light. He fed you, you know, and all that other stuff, but you almost were kept like a prisoner. No, you were kept like a prisoner. Um, yeah, that was very difficult because it's like you're doing your work, and now you're not. It's like, what? Somebody just takes you and takes you for their own advantages, is what I'm hearing. Let me see if anything else wants to come through for this lifetime. Yeah, you were definitely a nonconformist because you did your own thing. You did it well. Mystical faith. Wow, the death really isn't too different from pile one, y'all. I really didn't want to take it there. I wanted to make sure, but you were, with this lifetime, you were, I mean, he did what he wanted to do, and at some point, um, he poisoned you and you died. For most of you, he poisoned you and you died. For some people, they died of just being in that meek, dark, dank place, hypothermia, you know, just not being in the best living conditions. That's what happened. So, you know, this was really a life that was cut short because you were super focused. You was doing the thing. You was doing what you were supposed to do. But somebody came in and intercept that, and the scales were tipped. You were living in your truth. You was living in your truth. You was living your true north. But the scales got tipped, and you didn't get to do that anymore. So what was the lesson with this lifetime? I'm hearing that with this lifetime, you were very focused. You were doing what you were supposed to do. However, you didn't always heed your intuition. You know, our intuition tells us when a situation isn't right for us, and I'm seeing 1111. When a situation isn't right for us, and you didn't always heed that because you were so super uber focused on your mission. It was like, I got this, I'm strong, I can do this, nothing can touch me type energy. You didn't protect your energy. So the lesson with this lifetime is that we have to protect our energy. Yeah, you were out here, you was a baddie, you was doing all this, you was magical and everything, but you were still, I mean, you didn't have too many people around you who was there to help when this guy took you. I'm not hearing anybody that was around. You could have stood to protect yourself, protect your energy, and to understand when you're in a vulnerable situation. Like, you were behaving like a god, and you know, like you just invincible. And unfortunately, you were still mortal. So yeah, that's the message. We just got to protect our energy, make sure we're not putting ourselves into situations where we're compromising our safety. You know, there was a lot of people pleasing as well. So yeah, you was living in your truth, you was doing what you were supposed to do, but I feel like had you not been so uber focused on helping others, you would have been more cognitive and had more discernment to know when enough is enough. You got to protect yourself here and there. There was a need for balance, yes, and that's why those scales also are like tipped. So that was the lesson this lifetime. I hope y'all enjoyed the reading. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment, and thank you. Thank you for being here. Hi, Pile 3, how are you? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get into today's message. For past life, this is Pile 3, the masculine is your pile. Let's see what's going on here. All right, already so far, I'm hearing that this has to do with love. In this lifetime, you were definitely in love this lifetime. Yeah. Let's see what else is coming through. I'm hearing Venice. Like, I'm seeing Polyamorous. I'm seeing Casanova. For some of you, it says alternative sexuality. So you could have definitely have been like gay, lesbian, homosexual. Yeah, so for some of you, it's like this pile, it could be a man You could be a man in this lifetime, or you could be a woman in this lifetime. You worked in a very busy, beautiful city near the water. For a great deal of you, it's going to be Venice. Yeah, you were definitely like somebody who was always in love with love, but you didn't necessarily, you always kind of knew that your love, that the kind of love that you would be in, the kind of relationship you would be in would be different because you weren't attracted to the opposite sex. You were attracted to the same sex. So automatically you knew. You know, you had a lot of situations where you were crushed on somebody, but you just always figured it would be unrequited love because, like, there's a little bit of being in lack in this lifetime, just not thinking that you were good enough. Like, there was definitely some guilt with being being homosexual for you. Um and I see that with the upside down meditation card. It's like, yeah, you were a dreamer, you were a daydreamer and everything like that, but you were your your thoughts could be, I'm hearing tipsy, topsy turvy. That's what I'm hearing. You just, sometimes you would overly daydream and not so much live a lot. Like, you lived a lot in your head, and your thoughts weren't always um positive. There was definitely like a lot of activity going on in like the crown and the third eye. This lifetime you could have also had like psychic abilities. I feel like all my pals had psychic abilities. Um but right, there was like this avoidance there because you didn't necessarily want to be homosexual. Like, you just wanted to be, you know, the you just wanted to be, you wanted to have what most people had when it came to relationships, but you knew that life was never going to be for you, so you thought you would never have it. But you did find someone who was interested in you as well. There was a romance that came up, and as you were smitten, this person was also smitten, and it was like, wow, okay, so then I may be able to have a companion. I may be able to have someone that I love and that loves me. Yeah, that's what's coming up. That's what I'm seeing. Right. But even then, I would say that your energy, even though you were, you know, you were your energy this lifetime, even if you were male or female, it was a more masculine energy. You just was attracted to the same sex. But I'm also hearing that, you know, after some time, it's like the person that you were in love with, like, they realized that this love wasn't convenient for them. It's like it was star-crossed in a way. It became unrequited, and it's like part of you wonder if you manifested it through, because it's like you were like, I always knew this would happen. I knew this. This is part of the reason why I want to do this. That person just wanted to live what some people, not me, would think is a normal life, but um, that was very heartbreaking. That was super, super heartbreaking. Wow, I don't feel like this reading is super long at all. Let's see if we can get more information out about maybe your person even. Um I'm hearing this person had long curly blonde hair and blue eyes, and they were the more feminine energy. And like when you guys were in love and everything was good, it was like you nurtured each other. I see you guys outside a lot, like in secret, like you had a secret hiding place, and you would just kiss each other and be intimate and love on each other. And it was serendipity. It was beautiful. Um, but that person was very afraid of being caught. And it was like, ultimately, they always knew, like, it wasn't going to be long term, but you didn't know that. You thought that they were serious, like you were serious. It was like, I wasn't serious, you know, we were just kids. We were just playing. This was just for fun. But now it's time for us to get on and like marry who we're gonna marry. And like this person had good opportunities to like begin something else. Something that was abundant, to marry into a rich family. And that left you like super depressed because this person didn't want to be together no more. And so it went from being in serendipity to like being in this dark, dark place. You know, it's like you felt like with this person you could take your mask off, like you could share your soul with this person, you could share all parts of you, and you felt love and you thought that this was going to be forever, only to find out that this person was seriously wearing a mask the whole entire time, and they never fully intended to invest in this all the way because they didn't want to be this way. They always was looking to see if the grass was greener on the other side, and they found greener grass. And so with this lifetime, I'm gonna give it to you straight. You killed yourself. I'm sorry. I know that's triggering. Yeah, you committed suicide. You ended your life. Um, because you know you always with this lifetime. It's like you had a. It was like you had such a light about you that you didn't necessarily see, but that other people would see. And like if they were seeing it, if other people could see it, then lower vibrational spirits and different forces could see it as well. So it's like you had a lot of energy in your third eye and your crown this lifetime, and sometimes negative energies will play on that and attack your, psychically attack you, and you would have these negative thoughts. So when you were a child, you may have found yourself, like I was saying, having these negative thoughts, being like, oh, I'm never da 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 da, thinking that that was your own thinking, when really that was these negative entities trying to feed off of you. And when this situation happened, it was like it solidified that for you, and you just, you unfortunately, you ended your life, you know. So then, what is the lesson with this lifetime? Well, I'm hearing part of the lesson is to always be true to yourself. It's like, and never give up on you. To always show up for self, and sometimes we have these negative thoughts, but we have to fight them off. And then maybe in that lifetime, you didn't necessarily know. So if this is something that you're experiencing in this lifetime, let this be confirmation that these negative thoughts that you have from time to time, it's like these thoughts aren't you, these negative feelings aren't you. It's time to realize that you have this light about you, and there's forces out there that are drawn to that and will attack that to keep you in a negative state. You're meant for so much more. You're meant to have the things that you want out of life. If you want to be in love, if you want to be invested into, if you want to have a beautiful life, if there's some goals you set, sometimes maybe you feel like you can't have that. You can have all of that, but you have to make sure that you are protecting your crown and your third eye away from, and your auric field away from these negative entities, these negative forces. So one way you could do that is by wearing intentional crystals. A lot of those crystals would be black crystals for protection. White crystals are also for protection and intention, and for white crystals are also for the higher chakras. Um, Selenite, like you could wear selenite and tourmaline together. That would repel the negative energies and charge you and help you to just fight off these negative thoughts. But with the black tourmaline and stellalite, it's like, because they're together, you won't, like, if it's together on something, you won't have to cleanse it, because selenite is self-cleansing. But if they're not together, you want to make sure that you're cleansing that black tourmaline often, because it takes a hit. It can absorb like a lot of like negative energy. So you want to make sure that you're cleansing that often. I mean, you can literally protect your energy every day by just taking a moment to be in meditation, and being in meditation and envisioning a white light around you protecting you. You can even say words. You can call in a gatekeeper, protective guide to watch over you. And it's so simple. You could just say, "Dear universe, I call in a gatekeeper guide to protect my energy always." It's as simple as that. And you can envision that guide coming in. So those protective crystals, affirmations, you can also transmutate the energy. That's something that I do. So literally everybody has free will. We have free will to choose things that we want in life. You know, I know it's sometimes it's weird to think that, you know, we're choosing suffering, but sometimes we're caught in this cycle of choosing suffering. So the lesson for that lifetime, and even maybe this lifetime, is to stop choosing suffering, stop choosing the things that make you feel like you're going to suffer, and to choose peace and happiness. And it's something that is going to start off, it could start off slow, but as long as you're making that choice every day to choose things that's going to bring more peace to your life instead of the opposite, like, you're winning. You're winning. It's time for winning season. It's time to choose, you know, to choose things and choose yourself in a way that makes you more aligned with peace and joy and happiness and serendipity. One more thing I do to fight off negative energies, I transmutate that energy and I send it to source. So I may say something like, "I command that all discarding energy, all psychic attacks, all negative energy, all low vibrational energy, any foreign energy, any demons, any black magic, any monitoring spirits, any demons, any jealousy, I command that you go to source now as unconditional love with unconditional love. It is done, it is done, it is done." And I do that like pretty much every day. And it has helped. It has helped. So that is your reading, Pile 3. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for being here. And may you always choose peace. Thank you.